Hey guys, Synthmancer here. It has been a long time since I have driven in Gran Turismo 7. So what better way than jumping into the daily race C this week, which is Group 3 around Grand Valley Highway 1. I've done one lap before this. I've actually never driven this course before. I took a bit of a break from some racing just before this track actually came out. And it's been about 4 or 5 months since I properly played Gran Turismo. So, I got one lap around, which is a 51.8, and I decided, okay, before I jump back into a daily race, racing against actual people, I decided I'm going to give myself an hour of free practice. So I chose the Porsche, as I knew back in the day, well, back when I was playing this game, I rather enjoyed driving this car. However, jumping back into this was a little bit of a handful, not gonna lie. I hadn't watched any replays of anyone driving this course. I just wanted to figure it out for myself. And it's a little bit different, especially coming from racing in Assetto Corsa quite a bit. As you just saw, struggling after that turn and crashing straight into a wall. So we jump back into another lap, seeing how we go with this. This lap's not going too bad. Keeping up with the Ghost. A little too eager on the throttle, and I just found it was a little hard getting back into the swing of how some of these cars drive. It feels a little different from ACC, which I've played a little bit of recently. But it's just relearning the nuances of this game. Just as I'm about to complete a good lap, losing it again, and I just found that I was losing it again and again and again. I put a little compilation of every single mistake that I'd made. Picking up a penalty, deciding I'm just gonna do another lap. A little too eager on the throttle. And it was around this point here that I decided I'm gonna watch a replay. I'm just struggling, constantly spinning out, not really knowing where I'm going wrong. So after watching a replay, jumped back into the Porsche and decided, let's give it another go. So this is the first lap of watching the replay, kind of knowing what to do a little bit. Not too bad through that turn there, but it's this section here that it feels like you want to go flat out, and I feel like you should go flat out, but someone of my skill, like I managed it there, but someone of my skill, I might need to lift off a little bit, which I ended up doing later on in the video. The 154, which we just did, I picked up a penalty, so this was the first proper lap after watching the replay. Taking these turns a little bit better. It kind of made me realize that, the 151.8 that I set initially wasn't too bad, considering I didn't really know the track. And then it was once I felt like I kind of knew the layout and my breaking points where I was trying to push constantly, and that's where I was making a lot of mistakes. And after not properly sim racing in Gran Turismo anyway for a while, that kind of mindset of I should be back where I was, but as soon as I'm quite out of practice, I was getting quite disappointed with myself not being at the level I was previously. But it's fine. The main takeaway from driving this Porsche here was the fact that, I'm completing laps. I'm not, I'm sure I'm not at proper competitive speed yet, but I'm getting around the track. I'm learning it. Jumping further into the next lap. And it was around here that I decided I'm done with the Porsche for now. Maybe I'll jump into the Supra, which I knew I had a lot of fun with as well. So overall, you know, a 153.8 was pretty bad, considering I set a 151.8, not really knowing what I'm doing. So after a car change, jump straight into another lap here. And this was the first lap. This is the first lap of driving the new car. So, you know, I had to figure out new brake points and just see how it could handle through here. So a little lift off there. You can see I'm not wanting to get that pen, but wanting to carry a little bit of speed through there. And this, you know, this being the first little while that I've driven in this game and my first time on this course. This course is so much fun. There's so many fun corners. Like this entire section here it's tricky, but it makes for really fun racing, which we'll see later on in the video. You know, it's not the lines that I should be hitting, but I guess with time and playing this game again, I'll get back into the groove. But already at this point, I was feeling this car feels a lot more me. I'm able to keep it in control a lot more. I'm not spitting out as much as I was with the Porsche. I just felt like it was a lot more suited for this track. And the back section now, completely flat through here. I think in one race I lifted off slightly, and that's because I knew my line would spit me out here and there was someone else on the outside. And I just wanted to not pump them off, you know. So already first lap, 151.4, so taking those 4/10ths off. I decide, let's do it. Let's jump into race C. It had been an hour. I had a little bit of a break. It had been an hour free practice, so let's just jump straight into a race. So here we are, P7. It's not too bad. I'll take it. And here we are at the start of the race. P7. And it was at this point I was kind of, you know, a little bit nervous. It'd been a little while since I'd raced with Gran Turismo. Well, people who play Gran Turismo. Off and on, I'd been racing in Assetto Corsa, in a little fun league with some friends. And that had been the extent of my racing over the last little while. But I've wanted to give, you know, making YouTube videos a go. Sometimes I don't really have the time to stream that often anymore. But here we go. Rolling start. Coming down to the first two corners. Are we going to get the usual Gran Turismo 7 chaos? Seems fine so far. A little bit of a shunt from the person behind, but that's cool. You know, it didn't unsettle the car. I'll lift off through here a little bit, you know, just wanting to not pick up a pen, get through my first couple of laps, and keep up with the pack. But unfortunately, the car behind us had something else to say about that. Unfortunately, getting punted, and we dropped all the way down from P7 to P14, so losing quite a few places. But I figure it's okay, you know, it's a warm-up race. It's a little while since I've been racing with other people. So we lose another position here, but we pick it back up quite quickly. And it's time for us to just start making our way back through the pack. You know, feeling the pressure a little bit there. I go offline, allows Flamebird to just slip through the inside, leave that door open. However, they've gone quite wide there. And yeah, that causes us to crash again. We're going to lose the pack. And they keep their place. It's unfortunate, but you know, it's the way racing goes sometimes. Get dive bombed by P16 there, but we hold our place. But the fighting with them there causes us to go off our line and we get collected. But so do they go straight off into the wall. Further on, we're in lap 4 now. It was a bit bad by me there, just checking them up a little bit. But it's okay, they squeeze us back out. They lose it through no fault of mine. But as quick as we've gained that position, we lose it again down to back to P10. And nothing else really eventful happened there. I spun out a couple more times, and my confidence was just at an all-time low, knowing that I've not raced in a long time. So I decided, you know what, I'm just going to throw the car around, spin it over the line. I'm already dead last, why not have a little bit of fun? But as quick as that race was, I picked my boots up, strapped myself back in for another race, knowing that I can do better. So here we are, next race, P7 again. Let's hopefully not have as much carnage as we did in the first race. We get punted. Cheeky little love tap from behind, but it's okay. We hold on to that P7. And coming through these corners here, keeping it nice and steady, a little bit of lift off, which allows me to carry full speed through there. As P4 and P5 collide a little bit, and they start getting a little bit argy-bargy ahead of us, I tried to sit back a little bit, knowing that those two are just going to continually fight, and that's going to be places for me. P6 doesn't get around, and it's just an absolute section of carnage. 3 cars gone, 3 places for us. I'll have that, thank you very much. So P7 to P4, not even done with the first lap, and look how far behind the rest of the pack is already. 2.2 seconds. And I kind of get distracted by that, make a little bit of a mistake. But I quickly realize I'm close to the podium positions, I need to concentrate. So just going full concentration mode. Aside, I know I can do these laps. I know what I'm capable of. You know, it has been a long time since I've raced in this game. You know, I've said it a few times, but that's fine. You know, just need to shake off that rust, and I feel that's what that first race was. A bit of a reality check. And here I am, keeping up with the podium paces. It's gone from 1.3 seconds down to nearly a second behind P3. Here we go, it's just under a second now. As we come through this long hairpin down to this awesome winding straight. I really love this course. It's so much fun. What a good return back for me into this game. P3 picks up a half a second pen. So I realize I don't have to make a move on them there, because as long as I keep up with them, I'm gonna get that position at the penalty line. So no mistakes. Make a little one there, take it a little too hot into that corner. But no biggie, I'm still, you know, within 2 seconds of P1. You know, nearly half a second to P3. They should be out of this, out of the podium positions. Jumping a little further ahead, we do catch P3, but they're right back on us. That half a second pen on that straight with where it's positioned, you can get back to your position quite quickly. So defend quite well against them. Don't let them go in. And this is where people start pitting. So they're on the hards now, and they know that they can do quite a few laps on the mediums, because it's a mandatory pit. I hadn't quite picked up on that strategy just yet. No biggie. Go for a little bit of a wild lunge on P1. Recover it well. And here we are, not doing too bad. Second race back in GT. Group 3, and here I am fighting for podium position, fighting for P1. Make a late dive down the outside, puts us in P1, get clicked a little bit, but once again, just as quick as we are on P1, we lose it, P2. However, they have another half a second penalty. So I'm thinking, just drive normal, drive to the speed I know I can. I'm on the mediums. I think they're on the hards. And, you know, I'll have P1. P2's 2.5 seconds behind us. You know, I'm in a good spot. I'm just going to have a good stint. Good stint on these tires. And see what I mean? They're already unghosted. And I don't really lose much of a position. Yeah, fighting this around here. This section's rather tricky. And it's super important to get it right. Because it gives you, you know, it leads into your exit for this massive back straight. Or massive back sector, sorry. Not exactly at the straight yet. But it's just flat through here. Down to the straight. And we're going to see them peel off into the pits. And I'm in P1. And at this point I'm thinking, alright, how long on these mediums can I last? I didn't know that you can last about 8 laps on them. So jumping ahead here to lap 5, I'm still in P1. I decide I'm halfway through, I'm gonna pit. Now this is the start of the downfall for me a little bit. You know, not being out on those mediums for as long as I should have been, but I figured I wanted to get a few laps out ahead and allow me to fight back for those podium positions. So we're going to come out of the pits in P5, just behind P4, who was the racer we were fighting for P1 a few laps back. Nice and tidy, jumping ahead now. A couple of laps later, the people ahead of us pit, so that puts me in P3, and at this point I'm thinking, it's fine. This is where I can get a podium on my second race back. Not bad, not too shabby. All I have to do is not make a mistake. And P4, just behind us. You know, it's going to be close. I figure it's close. They're half a second behind. But I know that I'm quicker in the first sector. And I just make a tiny mistake. Let P3 through. I let P4 through. I could have come straight back out and fought P4, but I figured, in my head, I was like, no, I made the mistake. I'm the slow car. I'm getting off the racing line. I'm going to let them through, and I'll get them back. So showing a little bit of, in my head anyway, the racing etiquette. Don't want to ruin someone else's race. And as I'm pushing hard, I make a mistake. Lap 8, and I've got that half a second pen, P6, just behind us as well. But I hold on to it all the way into the last lap. And here we go, we're going to show the whole of the last lap. Can I get P5? That's all I can think about right now is, can I get P5? I've just got to defend from P6 at the moment, Mr. PB, or Mrs. PB. I can see where they want to go on the inside. Just make sure to cover that off. Now, they want to go on the inside here, so I make my move nice and early. Choke them up a little bit. I'm just thinking, where are they going to be? Where are they going to go? They give me a little bit of a tap. And with 3 cars behind them, I cannot afford to make a mistake. Nice and tidy. Unfortunately, I feel like with me trying to be nice and tidy, I lost quite a bit of pace as they forced their way around me. A little bit of contact. Try and make a dive down the inside. I lose control slightly of the car and I figured that's it. P5 has got me there, I'm not going to be able to catch them on this back sector. Just hold on to P7. Oh, hold on to P6, sorry. And that is going to be that. P6, up one position, but overall, it was a decent race. Quite a lot to take away from this race. P6, up from P7. We were in the lead for a few laps. Could have had a podium position if I didn't make some basic mistakes. And that is going to be us. That's going to be the end of the video. I do want to do more Gran Turismo videos. I can't promise a schedule. However, I will be streaming on Twitch occasionally and doing more daily race videos. Also some Assetto Corsa stuff, that kind of thing. But yeah, stick around. I know that this audio was very unedited. This was my first go at trying to edit a video, and I just wanted to do one continuous thought of audio without editing it. Because I know that your first few videos are always going to be garbage. But I just want to get this little bit of practice in. Cool. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video.